Here we are, on the edge of mystery. We long for a life of new discovery. Focus our eyes on the journey, stepping into the unknown, waving goodbye to our worry, and we're ready to go. We're up, we're not ever slowing down. We're up, we're chasing down the dreams we found, over the rivers and mountains, deep in the heart of the sea. We know adventure's calling, so we run wild and free. Wild and free. Wild and free. Here we go. Dive into the great unknown alone. Has stories waiting to be told. The earth is bursting with color. Our hearts are open wide. The stars glow in wonder. We are so alive. We're up. We're not ever slowing down. We're up. We're chasing down the dreams we found, over the rivers and mountains, deep in the heart of the sea. We know adventure's calling, so we run wild and free. Wild and free. Focus our eyes on the journey, stepping into the unknown, waving goodbye to our worry, so we run wild and free. We're not ever slowing down.
Traditional Irish music is an oral tradition. It's a thriving tradition. Some of the selections we play are hundreds and thousands or more years old. You can go anywhere in Ireland and find a session. It's spread throughout the land. Depending on the musicians there, they might be influenced by regional styles. You might have a variety between music, singing and dancing, and the sean-nós singing, which is in the Irish language. There's a variety of instruments that are played in traditional music. It could be fiddle, accordion, banjo, uilleann pipes, concertina. Music has passed through people's minds, hands and hearts for generations. And I think some people who come into a session, whether they know it or not, on some level they're feeling this, it uplifts them. There's something powerful in that.
Hi guys, how are you doing today? Hope you are all well and good. Let me just spotlight myself. So, welcome everybody to Tourism Ireland and Mickey Travels, a webinar for Ireland. And I'm really glad you're all here today because we're going to really get the chance to see and feel and taste Ireland with all the fantastic presenters that we've got today. So now I would love to get you all a little bit active on the keyboard here, just to make sure that you are, paying attention and everything. Please go to the chat box, everybody, and please type hello, hello. Okay, lots of hello, hello, hello. Okay, now I'm going to make it a little bit more fun because obviously hello is very easy, very, very easy. How about this? I'd next like you to type in there, I love Ireland. Type away. I love Ireland. Keep going. Yay. Very good. Very, very good. I like that indeed, because we all love Ireland. So let me just share you my screen at the moment to give you a little bit more information about the event. So today we've got excellent presenters from across Ireland, starting with Tourism Ireland, the most amazing lady that you'll ever see on Zoom, Miss Tori Henry. Next after that, we're going to have some destination presenters. We've got Purslines Distillery, Mr. John Cully, with his very interesting video tour and presentation. We then got Kildare Village, Fiona. She's going to show us all about the outlet there and give us a video tour and presentation. Guinness Storehouse, Hanny, she's going to talk about the Diageo group, but also she's going to bring information about the Guinness Storehouse, also the Kilkenny brewery as well, with a lot of excellent and beautiful, tasty looking beers. Following that, we're going to pop along to Armagh and visit Armagh, which is in slightly the border of Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland there. You've got the Navan Centre and you've got the Meadow Orchard and Cider Farm. So this is going to be really interesting as well. And of course, finally, we're going to head off to the Glenshane Country Farm. And for all of you that have ever seen this before, we have Jamesy and his wonderful live tour at the farm. After this, we'll have a bit of time for Q&A, and I'm going to give you some recommended itineraries featuring the sites today. Now, of course, I'd love for you to engage with us, so that's why I was really excited to let you type in the chat box just now. We also have the Q&A button on this, so if you have any questions about any of the attractions or any of the features today, please put that in the Q&A. We shall get to that at the end of the event. Also, we're going to be sharing with you the full materials after the show. We'll also make a recording of this and put it on YouTube. We'll give it to you so you can share with your colleagues as well. So I'd like to thank everybody for coming. And now I'd like to share with Tori, who's going to represent Tourism Ireland. Hi, Tori.
Hello, Tim, and hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining this webinar. I am just going to share my screen. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Brilliant. Great. Thank you so much, Tim. So yeah, first of all, thank you so much everyone for joining our webinar. We're really looking forward to showcasing the island of Ireland to you and showcasing some of our top experiences across the island. Tim gave you a brief overview as to what we will be discussing today, but from my perspective, I just want to give you a brief Tourism Ireland update, and then we will move over to our fantastic product updates. And then finally, I'll give you a list of the travel trade resources that Tourism Ireland offers to you guys to help you showcase the island of Ireland. So first of all, a bit of background about our brand experiences, and this allows you to showcase to your clients a journey across our signature experiences. So we've developed these brand experiences that showcase various parts of the island of Ireland, which make it easier for you to sell the specific area to your clients. Let's start with Dublin, which is the historic capital, and it's rich in culture and heritage. It's a city that buzzes with life and vibrant experiences. Some of the must-see spots include Temple Bar, which is bustling with nightlife, Trinity College, which is the beautiful university situated in the heart of Dublin, and Dublin Castle. Then we move to the west of Ireland, where we see the Wild Atlantic Way all along the west coast. The Wild Atlantic Way is the world's longest defined coastal route. So you can see there's roads all along the west of Ireland. Its unrivaled scenic beauty and thriving local life. Highlights include the Cliffs of Moher, the Ring of Kerry, the Dingle Peninsula, and Slieve League up in Donegal. Then if we move into the middle of Ireland, we see Ireland's hidden heartlands, which showcases a lot of immersive off the beaten path experiences. There's beautiful serene waters, enchanting forests, rich biodiversity all across the land. You could explore the River Shannon, which is a river that goes from the west coast down to the east coast of Ireland. And you can look at the various, and we'll go for walks through the enchanting forests and just experience the diversity in Lough Derg, Athlone Castle, Clara Bog, and many more experiences to be unveiled. Ireland's ancient east in the east of Ireland. This allows you to step into the pages of Irish history. You can explore Ireland's historic roots and mythic legends. And please make sure you don't miss Newgrange, the Rock of Cashel, Glendalough. And of course, when you're looking for a little bit of shopping, there's Kildare Village just in the heart of the ancient east as well. Moving on to Northern Ireland, you can see Belfast, the capital of Northern Ireland. It's a city of shipyards, festivals, and endless charm. Also, it's the European capital of music. It's engaging narratives of history and progress. Essential visits are Titanic Belfast, Botanic Gardens, and Belfast. Then finally, Northern Ireland itself, which showcases the brand Embrace a Giant Spirit. Embraces the myths and legends and the spirit of resilience across Northern Ireland. Experience awe-inspiring landscapes, rugged coastlines. Must-sees are, of course, the famous Giant's Causeway, the Dark Hedges from Game of Thrones, Carrick-a-Reid Rope Bridge, and of course, County Armagh, which you will hear about more in depth from Gillian later on in this presentation. These unique experiences bring to life the charm and spirit of Ireland and allows you to showcase the island to your clients through captivating hearts and inspiring journeys. More information on our excellent access points. So, apologies, is this frozen? So we have a number of international airports. Ireland hosts 8 international airports, ensuring global connectivity. Major hubs include Dublin Airport, Cork Airport, Shannon Airport in the Republic of Ireland, and then Belfast International Airport and George Best Belfast City Airport in Northern Ireland. We also are home to 9 major seaports offering ferry services to the UK and continental Europe. Main ports include Port of Dublin, Port of Cork, Rosslare Europort in the Republic, and Port of Belfast and Port of Larne in Northern Ireland. With extensive sea and air connections, accessing the enchanting island of Ireland is effortless and convenient. We look forward to welcoming your clients to our shores. In terms of visa requirements, so there are many visa-exempt countries within Asia. This means that you do not need a visa to access the island of Ireland. Countries include Japan, Taiwan, Malaysia, and Hong Kong. We also offer short-stay sea visas if you do require a visa to access the island. There, however, is many visa waivers for short-stay UK visa holders. This includes citizens of Indonesia, Thailand, and Vietnam. And then Indian and Chinese citizens can travel under the British-Irish visa scheme. So now, before I hand you over to Pierce Lyons Distillery, I just want to showcase a small video about what fills my heart with Ireland.
with Ireland. Discover more at ireland.com.
Now, without further ado, I'm going to move over to John Connolly, who's going to give you an insight into what you can experience at Pearse Lyons Distillery.
Good morning, everybody. I'd just like, first of all, thank Mickey Travel and Tourism Ireland for inviting me to join this webinar this morning. And I'd like to say a special hello to all the agents out there in Asia, and to say that we look forward to welcoming your clients to Ireland and to Pearse Lyons Distillery in the future. And if any of you guys get to Ireland, there's a complimentary visit waiting for you at the distillery, and I'll be there to join you with a whiskey at the bar afterwards. Okay, I'm just going to start in a few slides on the history of Irish whiskey, because a lot of people don't realize that it was the Irish invented whiskey about 1400 years ago. So as we say, any visit to Ireland would not be complete without a distillery experience. It was once the most, what, now my slide isn't working here, sorry. Oh, sorry, a moment. Yeah. Global, well, as Art says, Irish was once the most popular whiskey type in the world. And back in the year 1900, we were selling 12 million cases of whiskey from 88 distilleries throughout the island of Ireland. But the industry was on its knees. By 1980, there were only 2 of those 88 distilleries left, because there were a lot of problem years in between. Problems caused by World War I and World War II, but the biggest knock to our industry was Prohibition in America, which closed down our biggest export market of the day. And then shortly after that came the War of Independence, which brought the economic war, followed the economic war between Ireland and Britain, put tariffs and imports into Britain, so Irish whiskey was at a premium price and limited availability. Then when Prohibition was repealed in 1933, Ireland had no stocks of whiskey, because during those years, these distilleries depended on export sales, not domestic sales. And with no sales coming from the US, they sadly closed down. Then damage done by the bootleggers in America, those guys at the bottom of the screen who sold rot-gut liquor with Irish-looking labels and Irish-sounding names. And if you drank it, you'd never drink whiskey again. And then the boat there on the right was a shot of the American GIs returning home after the war, returning home to America after the war, and had acquired a taste of Scotch whiskey while in Britain, and brought that acquired taste back to the US. And that's when Scotch whiskey took off. But some turning points. In 1966, there were 5 remaining distilleries left in Ireland. They merged together before they were wiped out too, to form one company to attack world markets again. And it has worked. Just go on from there. Oh, they merged. There was 4 distilleries in the south, 1 in the north. The 4 in the south, they closed down and opened one big modern complex down in the south of Ireland to make those 4 whiskies. So then we were down to 2 distilleries. Then in 1987, 21 years later, the first independent distillery opened again. And the year after that, then, probably the biggest turning point, that company there, the Irish Distillers Group, those 5 whiskies on the screen, they were taken over by the giant French company, Pernod Ricard, which opened up huge distribution networks throughout the world for Irish whiskey. And the year after that, then, Pernod Ricard sold that brand Tullamore Dew, and the new owners started building a distillery back in the Midlands, in Tullamore, where it had first started. So the beginning of the renaissance of Irish whiskey, 2 distilleries in 1980, 4 distilleries 30 years later. in 2010. But look what happens 10 years after that. We have over 40 distilleries. And today, that was in 2020, today we are almost at 50 distilleries with more in the making. And global sales of Irish whiskey at the end of 2021 hit 14 million cases. So we're ahead of the 12 million case sales when we were at the top of the world. The Irish Whiskey Association has recently claimed that Irish whiskey will outsell Scotch once again by 2030. So now we come to the distillery I represent. I've worked with many distilleries over the years, but I have to say this to me is the jewel in the crown, because this is very unique. It's a working distillery in a former church, right in the heart of Dublin, right across the road from, there's the Guinness Storehouse, which Hanny will be telling you about shortly. So right across the road from the storehouse. And I'll just show you a shot now of the full complex. The left-hand side there is our visitor center, where your clients will arrive and will meet their tour guide. All our tours are guided. Then they go into a little theatre at the back to see a short video on the history of the area and the history of the church, and we have subtitles on that. And then within the church itself, that is where all the distilling occurs. It's all made within those behind the walls of the church. And those red brick buildings here in the front, refurbished townhouses, house our tea room and our gin school. That's some for FIT visitors. We have touch screens in the reception area to entertain them while they're waiting for tour. All tours take 1 hour. So we have public tours on the hour, and then for private groups on the half hour, but all visits take 1 hour. Some pictures of our founder there, Pierce Lyons himself, the bottom left, who sadly died the year after the project finished, but he saw it complete. I don't know about Asia, but in Ireland, a lot of old churches have old graveyards surrounding them. We don't go through the graveyard, but our storytellers will spend about 10, 15 minutes on some storytelling on different people from different walks of life buried here over the years. This is one of the oldest inner city graveyards, and the oldest tombstone dates back to 1624. But we'll go back there. When he finishes storytelling there, those blue doors open. And the first thing they see is the pot stills, our lovely copper pot stills up where the altar once was. But before they get to that, they see the raw ingredients. They use the barley, malted barley, unmalted barley, the mashing process, how the barley and unmalted barley are mashed together in a big vessel called a mash tun, mixed with water. And then that solution is pumped on for fermentation into these fermenters. A lot of the bigger distilleries, the fermentation vessels are 2 stories high. You don't see anything. But here we have these smaller ones that you can look in and see the fermenting liquid. At the end of fermentation, you have a beer-like substance, about 8% alcohol by volume. But then for the heart of the process, we go on to distillation. And this is where we remove the impurities from the spirit. And this is what gives Irish whiskey its extra smooth taste. At the end of the last distillation, you have a spirit at 80% alcohol by volume, which you couldn't drink. That has to be watered down, put into barrels and put into dark and silent warehouses to mature for a number of years. This is a church, another window at the back of the church. This was the former Church of St. James. And hundreds of years ago, when pilgrims from Ireland were going to Santiago to visit the tomb of St. James the Apostle, they would meet here at this church and head off on the pilgrimage together. So we just dedicated a window to Santiago. But for the best part of it, we talk about the barrels we use. Everybody gets to the bar and they receive not 1 whiskey, not 2 whiskeys, but 3 whiskeys, 3 different aged Pierce whiskeys. And obviously this is always the highlight of the visit. Then there's a shopping area on the way out, selling all full range of Pierce whiskies with a lot of nice souvenir items also. All those shop units are on wheels. They wheel back to make space for events in the evening. This is our tea rooms. We sell this afternoon tea with a premium tasting, which is the legacy tasting, where you get to taste 5 whiskies. As I say, we have an event space in the evening. And here we can do, for mice groups, we can do dinner for 70 people on round tables and up to 110 on banquet style on trestles. And then this, sorry, there's drinks reception with finger food, seating there for 100, or standing capacity there for 140 people. Now, this will come to our gin school. This is something new. And works very well. This is where we invite clients in, and with the help of a brand ambassador, they make their own bottle of gin and flavor it accordingly. So there are a big wall of botanicals to choose from. The client, the visitor, chooses the flavorings that he likes, or he or she likes to put in their gin. And halfway through the session, everybody receives some nice cured meats, breads, and cheeses, and a nice gin cocktail to wash it all down. And at the end of the session, when this kettle starts boiling up, the vapor comes out the top here. It's condensed back into a liquid, comes out here at the end, collected in a container and poured into a bottle. And everybody gets a 700 ml bottle of gin that they just made with a personalized label sealed to take home with them. So that's a nice experience. So that's me and Pierce Lyons Distillery, Dublin. So thank you all for your time. I'm going to now finish with a short video. I'll stop the sharing my screen and just a video which will sum up the whole experience at Pierce Lyons. Thank you all very much.
Thanks a million, John, for that update. That was wonderful. So now we're going to move on to Fiona from Kildare Village is going to give us an update on what you can experience there.
Can you see my screen just to start?
Fiona, it's not in presenter mode, but we can see your screen, yes.
Great, brilliant. Okay. Hi, Tori and Tim, and hello, everyone. Wonderful to see so many agents from across Asia at this webinar today. So my name is Fiona Harold. I'm representing Kildare Village. Kildare Village is Ireland's must-visit luxury shopping destination. And over the next few minutes, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the destination and a little bit about the brands that your customers will experience at the village, and also about the shopping experience and what they can expect when they visit. Kildare Village is Ireland's must-see, like I say, luxury shopping destination. It's part of the Bicester Collection, which was set up by Scott Malcolm back in the early 90s. And it's a collection of villages across Europe. There is 9 in Europe. 2 in China, and next year they're actually going to be opening one in Belmont Park. And the strapline of the company is world's best designers at world's best prices. Kildare Village, like I say, is that must see and must include in your itinerary. We all know that Asians do love to shop in the village. It's been open since 2006, and over the last number of years there's been an extensive development, a multi-million euro extension at the village, so it's bigger and better than ever. It's actually the 3rd biggest within the collection, with 130 boutiques. In terms of access to Kildare Village, Kildare is the county. It's in Ireland's ancient east, and it's the county directly beside Dublin. And the roadway that passes by Kildare Village is called the N7. It's the 2nd busiest road network in Ireland, connecting you with the southwest of Ireland, the Cork, the Limerick, the Cliffs of Moher, and the Ring of Kerry, you know, all the big tourist hotspots. So very well connected. So in terms of Kildare Town as well, it is worth noting about Kildare Town itself. It is actually a really historic, it's one of Ireland's most historic towns. There's strong connections with Ireland's famous female patron saint. St. Patrick is better known as our male patron, but St. Bridget has strong links with Kildare. And actually there is a walkway that links you directly into Kildare Town from the village. So Kildare Village as well is situated right in the heart of the thoroughbred country, as it's called. And this is aptly named because Kildare County has a rich and long, very long association with both horse racing and horse breeding. And nowhere personifies this better than the very famous Irish National Stud. But we have many studs, many training businesses within a few mile radius of Kildare Village. We've got the Japanese gardens, we have blueways, greenways, we have amazing hotels, historic houses, castles, gardens. Really, Kildare Village or Kildare County has everything, and really close proximity to the village. Like I say, about you're talking only 50 minutes drive from Dublin City, so very close by. Okay, so what your guests can expect from Kildare Village. So it is a premium shopping experience, and there is a really open air setting, and all of the retail units are styled as boutiques, okay? Although it is part of the Bicester Collection, each of the villages has its own unique style and personality, and that's reflected very well at Kildare Village. So really, it is retail boutiques. It is a beautiful experience. The focus is really around 5-star and providing 5-star customer service. And you will get here all the key luxury brands, Irish, British, European. So it has a diverse range of luxury and designer brands, which are across fashion, accessories, beauty, homeware, and there's plenty of dining options as well. This slide will give you an idea of the range of boutiques that are available, and your guests can spend a number of hours at the village very easily. So it's good to factor in at least a 2 to 3 hour visit. There is 100 plus boutiques, actually 130 boutiques, and this will tell you the range of boutiques. They are not just the international brands, but the key Irish, European, British, and international brands as well. I did mention before that there was a very major extension at Kildare Village, a multi-million euro extension. And last year we welcomed Avoca, who opened a boutique at the village. And Avoca is an iconic retailer in Ireland. Its history is dating back to 1723, from a small village in County Wicklow. And this is a must-see if your guests are seeking quality Irish-made products. It's very well known for high quality gifting, craftsmanship, and distinctive Irish aesthetic in terms of the style of the boutique and the range that's offered. And actually, a lot of the range is made exclusively for the village, so you won't actually get anywhere else. Again, just to highlight some of the Irish brands that are there. So we showcase created by Design Centre, and this was set up by Aisling Kilduff, and she has over 2 decades of experience in this area of really showcasing and highlighting and championing Irish designers and creativity. And this is an amazing boutique with a collection that features over 35 Irish designers in clothing, bags, millinery, jewellery and accessories. There's also a Korean designer that's featured there, but she's living in Ireland for a very long time. Johnson's of Eglin, it's worth talking about that as well. Some of our heritage brands, Johnson's of Eglin, Mulberry, an English brand. So Johnson's is actually a Scottish heritage brand and known for providing the finest quality cashmere, and they actually part of their business actually works with Hermes and Chanel and Burberry. So you're finding beautiful quality items here. And of course, Mulberry as well, which is an English brand known for quality handbags. But we have a whole range of designers and brands, and like I say, amazing prices as well. In terms of choice of restaurants and cafes, there is plenty, you know, some of the big restaurants that were very popular with Dubliners, like Dun & Crescenzi's, which is quintessentially Italian, and Saba, which is actually an Asian restaurant, but very popular with Dubliners. They are also in the village as well. So, yeah, so Saba would be Southeast Asian cuisine. We also have healthy eating options as well. For instance, Sprite is sourced from a local farm in Kildare, all very healthy produce, seasonal food. We have Murphy's ice cream, one of my favorites. It hails from County Kerry, and Murphy's ice cream is made in small batches, all local natural ingredients, and such as the milk that's used, it's from an indigenous breed of Kerry cows, say, for instance. So and Butler's chocolate, which is renowned. It started life as a small Dublin chocolatier, now sold and very popular all over the world. So yeah, so you get lovely treats there. So I did talk about it being a 5-star service, retail service that is offered at Kildare Village, and this is something that we're very, very proud of. So, your guests can expect a shopping experience unlike any other. A big focus on 5-star hospitality and customer service. A huge big thing is that your guests can enjoy tax-free shopping, and that is available for all guests across Asia, and it's not something that you get anymore in the UK. So if there is a UK and Ireland program, it's more beneficial for your guests to have that shopping stop in Ireland as opposed to Britain. So your visitors can enjoy tax-free shopping. We have a Chinese speaking staff across the village, Asian staff across the village, and we have Asian friendly payment systems. We do hands-free shopping. There is amazing coach parking for groups that are pre-booked, and they will get further discounts off the village price, and bear in mind that the village prices can be 50-60% off regular retail prices, so it's a very extensive discount. So there is exclusive perks, and like I say, Chinese and Asian friendly throughout. So I just mentioned about our apartment, which is available for VIP guests. So consider this as a private luxury lounge that VIP guests can enjoy while they're shopping at the village, and enjoy refreshments, and staff are on hand to help and assist them while they're shopping in the village, and any maybe bespoke requests that they might have. Also worth mentioning, we do have personal shopping suites. This is not for groups, this is more for individuals. It's a one-on-one service. We have a team of personal stylists who can either accompany the visitor around the village and help with their shopping and the edits in the village, or it can be a session that's held in personal shopping suites, and we have 3 of them, including the one that you see here in the right-hand corner, which is the biggest within the collection. So just moving on then, we do work with global partners. There is way over 400 global partners, including hotel groups, concierge, financial, airlines, and that's a really important one for your guests. So, you know, your guests are going to get tax-free shopping, number one. They can collect Air Mile points as well, and various incentives through the Air Mile partnership programs they are part of. And number 3, your guests will get further discounts, a VIP card that will give them further discounts in the participating boutiques. So we do, like I say, work with major concierge and airline partners. So extra and additional savings from that. So I have a little video which I think Tori or Tim are going to play. So if that's okay. So listen, thank you everyone for joining today. Thank you for your time and look forward to welcoming your guests in the future. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Fiona. Not only did that update make me want to shop, but it also made me hungry, and I'm really excited to get more insight into the new extension plans. So now moving on from Kildare Village, I'm going to hand you over to Hanny, who is going to give you an update on the Irish brand home experiences.
Thank you so much, Tori, and good morning and good afternoon, everyone, depending on where you're joining from. I'm just going to share my screen there, and we're ready to start. Perfect. So first of all, thank you Tourism Ireland and Mickey Travel for this fantastic opportunity for me to showcase our Irish brand homes, as we call them. My name is Hanny, for some of you who maybe haven't met me before. I look after the B2B sales for all our fantastic and beautiful brand homes. And the one that you're probably most familiar with is the Guinness Storehouse. And this is where I'm going to start this quick 10 minutes journey. So the Guinness Storehouse is our 7-story visitor attraction that tells the story of Ireland's iconic drink, the black stuff, as we call it, and brings to life the heritage of Guinness from the early days, from when Arthur Guinness has signed a lease for 9,000 years in 1759. And takes you through a journey of sight, sound, and taste. And you get to step back in time with our really exciting, one of my favorite part of the journey through the Guinness Storehouse, our advertising archives, which is a very, very interesting story. And then your journey finishes up in Gravity Bar, that gives you a 360 view across Dublin. So Dublin is not a huge city at all. We don't have high-rise buildings, so you can see the Dublin mountains, you can see the port, the sea, and the entire city from up there. A lot of people wouldn't realize that Dublin is a seaside city, so it's a really good opportunity for people to get their bearings from up there as well. But to give you a feel for the venue, I ask Mickey Travel to kindly play the video of the Guinness Storehouse, please. Perfect. So we offer tiered experiences at the Guinness Storehouse to suit every visitor. So you can upgrade to a guided tour, or you can have self-guided tour. We do offer audio guides for all of our group agents, complimentary. And then you can add on additional smaller or larger experiences to your regular visit as well. So your regular visit generally would take about an hour and a half. And then you can add, for example, the Academy experience, where you get to learn how to put a perfect pint of Guinness. Or you can add stouty, which is basically we take a picture of you and we use malt extract to print the picture on top of a pint of Guinness for you. And then connoisseur experience, it's a little bit of a longer experience. So this would be an additional hour and a half, hour 15 on top of your visit as well. And this is essentially where you get to learn about all the different Guinnesses. You taste all of them in a private bar setting. So this is more suitable for smaller groups, FIT groups. And it gives you an overview of the different types of Guinness and the evolution of brewing Guinness. And then we're just gonna take a quick 3-minute stroll across the road to our beautiful Roe & Co distillery. So Roe & Co distillery today is housed in the former Guinness Power Station. So this huge iconic red brick building used to power Guinness throughout the years. George Roe, in fact, had a distillery just a couple of doors down from where the distillery is today. And he helped to build the golden era of Irish whiskey that John has already spoken about in the 19th century. So Roe and Guinness were the two big, powerful names in the brewing and distilling industry in this area called the Liberties in Dublin at their time. So what we offer at Roe & Co distillery, it's a very unique Irish whiskey experience. And for the very reason I call them experiences is because they're very hands-on, immersive experiences. So people get to interact with each other and with the drink itself as well. We run two experiences, the flavors and the blending experience. So visitors get to blend whiskey, get to shake cocktails, and we're really trying to make Irish whiskey accessible for everyone. So kind of using that cocktail element as a vessel for Irish whiskey. So it's most suitable for FIT groups and small groups, up to 32 people to be exact. And it is really for those smaller intimate groups, and we do offer private bookouts for our experiences as well for FIT travelers. So once again, I would like to play a video. So if Mickey Travel could kindly play that video for us. Perfect. So we're going to leave Dublin behind now and jump in the car and take a quick journey, an hour and 20 minutes, down to the medieval town of Kilkenny, where I would like to showcase our third Irish brand homes, the Smithwick's experience. Smithwick's, the very popular Irish red ale. And there is no really better place to start your journey through Ireland's ancient East than to start from Kilkenny, and that is a really lovely medieval town with so much history. So Smithwick's is located just in the heart of Kilkenny, about 10 minutes walk from Kilkenny Castle, the other must-see when visiting Kilkenny. And Kilkenny, for some of you who don't know, is a very popular day trip destination from Dublin, or visitors often stop here when traveling to the south of Ireland. So if they go in from Dublin to Killarney or Cork, Kilkenny often comes up on the itinerary. So the Smithwick's family have been brewing red ale and Smithwick's here for over 300 years, from 1710. But to be exact, the monks have been brewing beer here from the 1200s. So there is a very rich history of brewing in Kilkenny, and you can go through the journey of the history of brewing in Kilkenny when you visit the Smithwick's experience. So it's a story of 300 years of innovation told by local guides. So some of our guides who work at Smithwick's experience are local to Kilkenny, and some of them have actually have family members who worked for Smithwick's, the brewery itself, at its time. So we offer guided tours for up to 20 people at a time, but we offer simultaneous tours as well. So we can certainly accommodate coach tours as well for 60 people and so on. And then to give you a feel for the experience itself, for the last time, I promise I would ask Mickey Travel to play the video of Smithwick's. So just to finish off, and thank you again for everyone joining today. And I very much hope to see you in Dublin soon. So if you're visiting Dublin or Kilkenny, definitely do let me know. And we would love to see you in one of our brand homes, or all of them. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Hanny, for that update. I haven't been to Rowan Pro myself. I must give it a visit the next time I go back to Ireland. So now we're moving up to Northern Ireland, where Gillian is going to give us an overview of all the things you can experience in the wonderful county of Armagh.
Thank you so much, everyone, and it's lovely to join you here today. I'm going to present to you the beautiful city and county of Armagh. My name is Gillian Campbell, and my role within this destination is to make your life easy. So what I do is I work with you to create the most perfect itinerary for your clients, and then I execute that itinerary for you. So Armagh is in Northern Ireland. We're about 45 minutes from Belfast and about an hour 20, an hour 30 from Dublin. So very, very accessible. There's about 7,500 years of history here, and I'm going to fly through it all in about 10 minutes. So hold on to your seats and let's get started. So I want to start with the Navan Centre and Fort. The Navan Centre and Fort is one of Ireland's most important archaeological sites. This is home to the High Kings and Queens of Ireland, and one of the most famous queens here was a beautifully red-haired lady called Queen Maha, and she gave her name to the city of Armagh. I suppose from the image it looks quite unassuming, but believe it or not, this fort is on the tentative list for UNESCO World Heritage status. So what happens here? Well, what happens here is we tell you the stories of the Celts. It's a very complex history. So what we do is our lovely tour guides take you on a tour of the Navan Centre and allow you to follow in the footsteps of some of the High Kings and Queens of Ireland. We're great storytellers in Ireland, and there's a very famous collection of stories connected to Navan Fort called the Ulster Cycle of Tales. And believe me, as part of the tour, you will definitely be immersed in those tales. And you're looking really at Armagh in a time before St. Patrick. And it's all very well a tour guide giving you the information, but I know that everyone loves a little bit of hands-on fun. And so we bring you to the Celts' Iron Age dwelling. You meet with the Celtic characters, you can see some of them in the image, and they welcome you to their clan as the Celts would have done 7,500 years ago. You discover what life was like when they were there. You discover their storytelling around the fire. You get to cook, you get to weave, you get to really become a Celtic warrior of the time. You are immersing yourself in history. So the easier way to describe it all is really by a little video, and can I kindly ask that you play the video for me now, please? Now, so I hope you enjoyed that. So I want to move on to one of our other very important products in the area. And believe it or not, this is all about the humble apple, but definitely no humble apple, really and truly. We are the Orchard of Ireland. We grow 4,000 acres of apple. And why do we grow apples so well? Well, this part of the island is actually, there's a belt that runs through it that's about 2 degrees warmer than the rest of the country. So we really have our very own microclimate. So that allows us to grow apples perfectly well. Our most famous apple is the Armagh Bramley apple, and the Armagh Bramley apple has protected geographical indication. So this is a kudos mark on our apple, which really elevates it to the same level as the Champagne grape or Italian Parma ham. So you're able to go to our orchards, and I'm going to highlight one in particular, and that is Longmeadow. So you meet with the McKeever family and you see them here in the video. And believe me, the lady in the center of the screen is definitely the boss. That's Catherine. So they are 3rd generation apple growers. And what they want you to do is they want you to come into their orchard and be part of their daily life. So as your tour progresses, you get to see what happens on an orchard every day in County Armagh. So you learn how the apples are grown, you learn how they're planted. Pat on the right hand side, his father planted some of those trees well over 50 years ago. They take a journey down through the orchard, which allows you to see how the traditions of the farming has changed over the years. You then get to visit the cold storage facility where the apples are stored. Now, they're not stored for 2 or 3 days. Some of those apples go into those facilities in September. And when you visit in June of the following year, you can lift an apple out of that fridge. You can bite into that apple and you would nearly think it was picked off the tree the day before. So you get to do that, and then you get to see how the apples are pressed and blended. So they're blended to make various products like cider, apple juice, and of course, apple cider vinegar. And our good friend Timoni has just told me this morning she's had her apple cider vinegar before she came to work, because Timoni has actually visited here. So she'll be able to give you first-hand experience there as well. Once you have taken the tour of the farm and seen the facilities for the pressing and the cold storage, we then invite you down into the most beautiful glass fronted barn. The barn is set in the middle of the orchard, and it is there that we allow you to taste the apple juice and ciders you've just seen being made. So excuse the pun, but the core experience is a tour and tasting, but then you can then also add maybe tea, coffee and delicious apple pie, and you can see Catherine making one of her apple pies here in the shot. Or why not consider adding one of our new experiences for 2023 and beyond, and that is the chance to make Granny's traditional soda bread. So everyone knows soda bread and Ireland kind of go hand in hand. People would have been reared on soda bread years ago. It was easy to carry out onto the fields if people were farming. It was, you know, something that kind of filled people up for the day and was easy and quick to make. So Catherine shows you how her granny made soda bread and tells you the story of the tradition of soda bread in her house. You are in the Bramley barn. She demonstrates how to make the bread, and then she actually cooks the bread on her granny's very own griddle. And you can see the griddle here in the image. She chats away to you as this is going on, and then as the soda bread is coming hot off the griddle, she puts locally made butter onto the bread and then passes the bread amongst your group or amongst your clients, and they're able to taste the hot soda bread with the melting butter. It's absolutely delicious. My mouth is watering now thinking about it. So for 23 and beyond, this will be a demonstration. For 2025 forward, she's hoping that each person will be able to make their very own piece of bread. So you'll be actually doing like a cookery class with her. So you can see Catherine here in full flight. You know, she really engages the customers with the whole experience. But the best way again to see it is with a bit of a video. So maybe you'll play that again for me now, please. So those videos are very quick, but I will be able to share other videos with you if you need to. You just drop me an email and we'll get that to you. So other things that there are to do and see in the area, which I can help in your itinerary planning is, believe it or not, we have the oldest observatory in the UK and Ireland, which is continuously in use for its original purpose. So you're able to take a tour of the observatory with one of the astronomers, and it's absolutely fascinating. The highlight here on the screen, the image on the screen, is of Armagh Robinson Library. This is a research library. The guided tour here is fascinating. The library contains 35,000 rare books and manuscripts, which date from the 18th century and backward And one of the highlights here is they actually have the original copy of Gulliver's Travels by Jonathan Swift, with Jonathan Swift's handwritten amendments in the spines of the book. Now, I'm sure you all know that the only country named properly in Gulliver's Travels is, of course, Japan. I alluded to the fact that we're the Christian capital of Ireland, and we have 2 beautiful cathedrals, well worth a visit when you're here. From this screen here, I suppose the one that jumps out the most is the Game of Thrones studio tour. It's the world's first and only studio tour, and we're very lucky that it is within our area. And that really is a deep delve into everything that you need to know about the show, the props, the weaponry, the visuals, a bit about the characters. Really a fantastic experience. In the image here, you can see Brownlow House, which is a calendar house. The only other calendar house in Ireland is Adare Manor. And maybe something for you all to get involved in would be our experience of Gaelic football and hurling. So you go to a stadium and you meet a Gaelic football or hurling player, and he takes you on a tour of the stadium. But the highlight, of course, is that he brings you out onto the pitch and allows you to have a go at football and hurling. So you never know, we might have some athletes among you visiting the area as well. In terms of accommodation, we have a vast range of accommodation. We have hotel, guest house and bed and breakfast. The image shows you Armagh City Hotel. It does what it says on the tin. It's a city hotel right in the heart of the city, 95 bedrooms, 4-star hotel, very comfortable experience for your clients and very accessible. I know you're going to get copies of the presentation. The QR code here will bring you to my contact details, and I'd love to hear from you in the future. And then, of course, I thought it would be handy for you to have a QR code to bring you to our website and also to our general visitor brochure as well. It's been a pleasure to show you the city and county of Armagh, although very quickly. I hope this won't be our first opportunity to chat, and that I'll hear from you again. And if you have any query at any time, don't be afraid to give me a call. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gillian, for that wonderful update. It's such a beautiful part of the country, and I really hope that everyone taking part in this webinar has the opportunity to visit that area in the island of Ireland, as well as showcase it to your clients, of course. Now, for our final update, I'm going to hand over to Jamesy, who is going to give us an update of all that you can experience at Glenshane Farm. Thank you, Jamesy.
Brilliant, Tori, thank you. Here we go. So, well, hello everyone, and thank you very much for joining us on this call today. I really appreciate this opportunity to share with you some of the details of my visitor attraction. Also, massive thanks to Mickey Travel and Tourism Ireland for all your help in preparing this today. Well, firstly, as I say to anyone who comes to visit our farm, Gia Ditch Agus Fulsha, Go Farm Chua Glenshane, is Misha Shimas Mahaluan, which is Irish for hello and welcome to Glenshane Country Farm. My name's James McCloy. I am a 4th generation shepherd, and I own and run my family hill farm. We're based high up in the beautiful Spurns, as you can see just behind us there, and we take in panoramic views right across Mid-Ulster and Northern Ireland. We are approximately 45 minutes from Derry, 50 minutes from Belfast, and 55 minutes from the Giant's Causeway. We are only 1 mile off the main route when travelling from Belfast to Derry, making us very quickly and easily located. So what is Glenshane Country Farm? This is a new visitor attraction that was officially launched alongside the Embrace the Giant Spirit unveiling at London at the World Travel Market in 2019. And we aim to work mainly business to business. People get the opportunity to pre-book and join me in my private immersive experience, watching our sheepdogs demonstrate their skills, listening to my whistles and commands as they control the sheep, maneuvering them, fingers crossed, I always say, into the wooden pens beside the visitors. Our main goal here is to provide quality, lasting memories, have a bit of crack, a bit of fun with their visitors, give them something to really remember. As one of Tourism Northern Ireland's original brand demonstrators, I'm proud to be an ambassador for the new Embrace a Giant spirit. I believe I have restructured a new way of farming life for my family, and I want to share this with visitors from around the world, stretching their imagination that this message, that our quality end-to-end experience helps sustainability within the landscape and indeed our own farm. It is this passion for my heritage, and the place I'm proud to call home is, I suppose, where I find I connect with my visitors, give them that feeling of a warm embrace, if you like. It's an opportunity for them to engage with my experience and take on my authentic work and farm to discover more about my history and culture. So to help you visualize the structure of this first part, 1 hour experience or sheepdogs at work, after welcoming them onto the farm, I explain exactly where we stand within Northern Ireland. I take them on a journey, pointing out Lough Neagh, surrounding distant mountains, and of course Slemish, where St. Patrick shepherded, or Painter State of Ireland. Even after 1500 years of technology and changes and evolution, I suppose, we as shepherds still carry on certain traditions and heritages as he did back then. The guests can see all the sheepdogs' birth certificates and family generation pedigrees displayed on the wall, and their photo and their name, showing that they also come from a long line of workers. After I give them an insight about my dogs, the visitors really laugh whenever they see the different personalities actually shining through when the dogs they get a chance to meet them and they're in the field starting to work. Like Moss, for example, our 9-year-old male. I call him a typical male. You have to tell him twice to get anything done. Whereas Tess, our female, as soon as she gets a command, she's jumping through the bars of the closed gate and she just can't wait to get that first command. Again, for me, I find it's my natural ability to judge my guests' reactions as this immersive experience flows. I have a main structure for the experience, but I tailor and tweak it as the experience moves along. Again, forging new connections and paying attention to what the visitors are actually enjoying most. It's through this interaction of conversation and what I crack that visitors connect with me and my stories, revealing new perspectives and understandings about who we are as locals. Together we slow down the pace, help them feel part of something traditional and special. And as they're having a laugh with the sheepdogs running in different directions, doing their work and listening to my commands, they can kind of quietly think to themselves, you know, this is Ireland. This is what we pictured it like, and so much more. And I suppose it's given them that chance to really have a rooted feeling that they've really visited something special. The second part of this experience, if they choose to book it, lasts another hour, and it's called Shearing the Wool. This takes them across to my barns, where they get a chance to see more different breeds of sheep up close, hold baby lambs, witness a shearing demonstration. I feel I have successfully unveiled a genuine Irish immersive experience available to anyone in the world of any culture or any age, whether it's one person or 60 people with their newly built facilities. Weather is always a minor issue. Guests can always watch on in comfort. Even if the group can't understand our language very well, I can still tailor my experience to have a high visual impact as the guests watch my sheepdogs operating with body language and whistles. I've worked hard to incorporate as many opportunities as possible for my guests to get involved in the fun, but only if they want to. Some people actually laugh harder when someone else is having a go, but that's what it's all about. This includes petting the sheepdogs and the sheep, opening and closing gates, weighing lambs, catching and holding young lambs, rolling a fleece, cutting through wool with shears, anything that can be tangible, anything that can create that moment that positively embeds in their memories. And all of these experiences that I mentioned are available all year round due to the management and tweaks that we've made to our farm. I've opened the gates of our family home to the world. This is not a circus act, nor is it a polished performance, but just a chance for visitors to see what happens on a Hill sheep farm on a day-to-day basis. And when they leave, I really hope they have their own stories that they can tell and retell to their family and friends back home. I'm so pleased to share with you that after a few years of planning and building, this summer has seen us open our new Country Barn Visitor Centre, where we can now share our new fleece to fashion experience, where we can tell the story of, you've just saw the fleece coming off the sheep. This is how years gone by, they would have took that raw fleece and worked with it to the point where they brought it right through the process of spinning and knitting until they actually had a garment that they were able to put on their back. The other experience we have with our new building is our intro to Irish dance. And this is more for a bit of fun, a bit of movement, just to let people see that it wasn't all about work. There was a lot of fun and enjoyment in Ireland through the years. Again, we have the facilities here to seat up to 62 people comfortably for our tea, coffee, home-baked breads, home-baked tray bakes. Everything is made on site in our kitchen in the building. We genuinely believe that this new 3,000 square foot space captivates true Irish charm and warmth as visitors enjoy our panoramic views and join in all these new fun experience offerings all in the one area. So that's Glenshane Country Farm. The ethos of our business is to create a warm welcome and help create quality lasting memories. That's our brand, that's what we represent, and that's what we really hope visitors see whenever they're here. There is a brochure that is on the system here that can be downloaded. I know I'm here to help, Mickey Travel's here to help. Anything you need, please just ask. That brochure will give a very clear indication to all the experiences we offer, how long they last, what they entail, and it gives you a really strong indication to what suits your timeline on how long you would like to spend at our Glenshane Country Farm. So I'm actually in the building here at the moment, and I know I have our sheepdog Tess sitting patiently outside, really wanting to show you a little bit of what she does. So with a little help from Tori, I'm just going to show you around our building very quickly and make our way outside so that we can meet Tess. So again, this is our new building, where we have our seated area for our tea, coffee, bakes, or home baked breads. We have our spinning wheels, our fleece to fashion story, our dance floor for our Irish dance. And we can have our lunch beside our fire, our lit fire. And again, from inside the building, we're looking right across Northern Ireland. As we just make our way outside, you can see our little merchandise shop with lots of little woolen products. Again, our map at their door gives a really good indication to where exactly the visitor's standing, where they've been. We have our welcomes in our different languages. And again, it's just to let everyone know that they're very welcome to our facilities. And just before we get Tess, we'll just give you a slow turn to see what we can see right across Northern Ireland. So I see Tess looking up at me, so I better go and get her, and we'll ask her if she can do a little work for us. Well, it's not really work for her because she enjoys it so much. Tess, that'll do. That'll do. Good girl. Lie down. Lie down. Lie down. Stay there. Good girl. So that's Tess.
Good girl, Tess. Good girl. So we're going to ask Tess to get into the field. Tess, walk up. Get in. Get in. Get in. Good girl. So she's just jumped through the gate and now she's waiting for me to give her a command. So Tori, would you mind helping me?
Yeah, I'd absolutely love to, Jamesy. I'm going to say clockwise today.
So, brilliant. So we're going to send Tess off on a clockwise direction. So if Tori has told me, I'm going to tell Tess. Tess is going to tell the sheep. And if it all goes wrong, it's Tori's fault. I take no responsibility for anything here on the farm. So we'll give Tess a little command here clockwise. So if I say stone, sky, plain, that means nothing to Tess. But as soon as I say the word, come by. You can see Tess running off into the distance. The sheep see Tess coming in behind. So we'll just switch over to our whistle. Hopefully you can see that okay there. Walk on. Good girl. Walk on, Tess. Good girl. Come by. Come by. Lie down. 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 Stay. Good girl. Come by. Come by. Come by. Come by. So Tess has brought the sheep right up to the fence beside us here. Stand there. Good girl. So again, when the visitors are here, they can reach over and pet the sheep, feel their wool. And we always try and give the visitors a chance to work the dog. So again, if I ask Tess to get back, get back, get back, back, get back. Good girl. Lie down. Tess is lying down, waiting on that next command. So again, if we want Tess to go anti-clockwise, we'll use the command away. Away. Lie down. Down. Stay there. Stay there. Lie down. So Tori, we're going to just bring Tess on behind the sheep and get her to move the sheep out across the field, and then we'll ask her to get back out through the gate again. So I'm going to use whistle commands this time. That means stop, and now we'll ask her to get out of the field and she'll jump out through the gate. So when I want her to finish the work, I say, that'll do. That'll do, Tess. Good girl. That'll do. Good girl. Good girl. Good girl. There you are. Good girl. So Tess is excited about meeting new visitors, as always. I hope you enjoyed that little show, and thank you very much again for the opportunity, and I'll hand you back over to Tori.
Thanks a million, Daisy, for that. Lots of comments coming in asking whether people can bring their dogs to you to get a bit of a training. So I'm not sure if that's something that you're willing to think about, but if it is the case, let me know, because I've got 3 dogs at home that could do with learning how to even sit. So thank you very much for that. That was just I never get bored of watching that.
Thank you.
So now, just before we end our product update, I just want to give you an overview as to what Tourism Ireland offers to you, so you can showcase the island of Ireland to your clients. We have a website called irelandscontentpool.com. This is a site that offers thousands and thousands of rights-free imagery and videos for you to use on your website. And you just have to create a profile. It's very simple and it's a very straightforward website. We also have a website called trade.ireland.com. On this site, you have many resources in terms of, itineraries, toolkits, lots of creative assets for you to use, again, to showcase the island of Ireland. On the trade.ireland.com, you can also sign up to our trade news, and you will receive regular e-signs on updates and new products on various festivals and new itineraries. So lots of information there to share. We also have a trade training tool so that you can learn more about the island of Ireland and test yourself, and you can become an Ireland specialist. If you follow some of our social media, you can also get updates from there. Facebook at Discover Ireland, Twitter at GoToIreland, and our Instagram at Tourism Ireland. As well, if you have any specific questions, please feel free to reach out to myself or my colleague at thenry@tourismireland.com or sbradley@tourismireland.com. So that's everything from us. Thank you so much for participating and listening into our call. I hope you have a much better understanding of the island of Ireland, and we look forward to welcoming you soon. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Tori. So there's a couple of Q&A for you on the Q&A thing here. So there's one there that says, could you please share a contact email who has handled the partnership for Tourism Ireland? Do you want to answer that?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's thenry@tourismireland.com. I will get Tim to distribute my email after this call, if that's okay with you, Tim.
That's fine. There was one question about what is needed for the visa for Ireland. So for that one, maybe they can write to me and I will share the local Irish consular so that they can see the details for the Irish visa if they're doing that for a mono Irish visa. Obviously, if they've already got a UK visa, they can apply for the visa waiver, and I will send the link that they can click on to apply for the Irish visa waiver once they've got the UK visa. For Jamesy, they were asking if they serve lunch, and I believe, yes, they do serve lunch at Glenshane Country Farm, and the food there is very delicious. Some of our groups actually went there already and they said it was delicious. Okay, what is the highlights of Ireland? Well, I will send some itineraries to everybody after the show with the key highlights for Northern Ireland and Ireland, the whole island of Ireland. There's a lot of this great things to see, whether you're going to the coast, whether you're going to the cities, whether you're going to the countryside. There's a lot of culture, there's a lot of food, there's a lot of different drinks, and of course, shopping. Okay, so that pretty much answers the Q&A. So let me start my video, and I'm going to share my presentation as well, if I can just jump in with my presentation. So I just want to give just a few itineraries to everybody, just to give some people a picture of how to include all of these items in their Ireland and Ireland UK itineraries. So generally speaking, from Asia, you're going to land in London or Manchester or Dublin or Belfast, and then the itineraries will commence from there. So I pick up on the key highlights of what we say today and start in Dublin. So in Dublin, of course, you're going to see the historical city, Dublin Castle. There's a little map in my presentation which I will share of the city centre area, pointing out where the key attractions are. And of course, you're going to then want to see St. Patrick's Cathedral, which is really the key point of Dublin, and go along to the Temple Bar to see the very beautiful and Instagrammable street. And of course, we wouldn't be going there without visiting Purslines Distillery and the Guinness Storehouse, which we've really seen much of today. And just pointing out where they're located. And of course, from Dublin, we'll pop out to have a bit of shopping at the Kildare Village. Then our itinerary can go north, so we can drive out in the direction of Belfast, and along the way, as we pop across the border, we can go into Armagh, and we can visit the Navan Centre, and we can have the Longmeadow cider orchard tour as well. And then we can head up north to Belfast to obviously see the highlight points, which is really the Titanic. And of course, once we're in Belfast, we can pop along to Northern Ireland. We can go across to Glenshane Country Farm and really enjoy playing with the sheepdog demonstration. On my itinerary before, I've also recommended they can pop back to Belfast via the Bakehouse NI. You could also go up to the Giant's Causeway and come back to Belfast that way. So, of course, if you have any inquiries or itineraries to Ireland, please write to me, tim.dyer@group-mickey.com. I will share that then with my colleagues in the different offices around Asia, and they can get back to you. As I said, I'm going to send you out the materials after the event. It's got all the contact information inside, and it's also got the itineraries and details and materials as well. So I just want to say thank you very much to everybody for coming today. Audience has been fantastic. Panelists have been fantastic. Tourism Ireland is always fantastic. So I wish you all a great day and look forward to seeing your business, your travelers coming to Ireland as soon as possible. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.
Here we are, on the edge of mystery. We long for a life of new discovery. Focus our eyes on the journey, stepping into the unknown, waving goodbye to our worry, and we're ready to go. We're here we go, dive into the great unknown. Has stories waiting to be told. The earth is bursting with color, our hearts are open wide. The stars glow in wonder, we are so alive. We're not ever slowing down. We're up, we're chasing down the dreams we found. Over the rivers and mountains, deep in the heart of the sea. We know adventure is calling, so we run wild and free. Wild and free. Focus our eyes on the journey, stepping into the unknown, waving goodbye to our worry. So we run wild and free. We're not ever slowing down.
Traditional Irish music is an oral tradition. It's a thriving tradition. Some of the selections we play are hundreds and thousands or more years old. You can go anywhere in Ireland and find a session. It's spread throughout the land. Depending on the musicians there, they might be influenced by regional styles. You might have a variety between music, singing and dancing, and the sean-nós singing, which is in the Irish language. There's a variety of instruments that are played in traditional music. It could be fiddle, accordion, banjo, uilleann pipes, concertina. Music has passed through people's minds, hands and hearts for generations. And I think some people who come into a session, whether they know it or not, on some level they're feeling this, it uplifts them. There's something powerful in that.